Probably that will vibe with you better. Even though I feel everyone takes me for granted, still I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I'm always taken for granted by everyone in my family and even outside, including the helpers in the house. Anybody and everybody takes me for granted. Still, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I don't know what do I do to invite being taken for granted. How to come out of it. I don't know how not to be taken for granted. Still, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Eyebrow point. This being taken for granted. Eye end point. I am always taken for granted. Below the eyes. Everyone takes me for granted. Below the nose. This being taken for granted. Chin groove. This being taken for granted. Below the collarbone. This being taken for granted. Below the armpit. This being taken for granted. On the lower ribs. This being taken for granted. Thumbnail. This being taken for granted. Forefinger. This being taken for granted. Middle finger. This being taken for granted. Little finger. This being taken for granted. Karate chop. Still I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tap the back of palm point. Keep tapping. Close your eyes tight, open your eyes wide, look left down without turning your head, look right down without turning your head, roll your eyeballs, left to right full circle, right to left full circle, hum a tune. Quickly count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, hum a tune. Karate chop. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. I choose to be free from being taken for granted, along with all its causes. And I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. I choose to do all that is needed to assert myself and I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. I choose to let go being taken for granted, and I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tap the beginning of eyebrow point, free from being taken for granted. Eye end point, completely free from being taken for granted. Below the eyes, totally free from being taken for granted. Below the nose, let go being taken for granted. Chin root, completely let go of being taken for granted. Below the collarbone, totally let go of being taken for granted. Below the armpit, free from all the causes of being taken for granted. On the lower ribs in front, completely free from all the causes of being taken for granted. Thumbnail, totally free from all the causes of being taken for granted. Forefinger, let go of all the causes of being taken for granted. Middle finger, completely let go all the causes of being taken for granted. Little finger, totally let go of all the causes of being taken for granted. Karate chop, and I deeply and completely. Deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Massage the tender spot on the shoulder as you take a deep breath in. Gently hold and press the point as you breathe out long from the mouth. Use the first two fingers. Always use the first two fingers. Wherever.